This one is from the Charlotte Dobre subreddit, and it is called I Started a Resistance Against My Mother in Law. Mother in law from hell. Sorry, this is a long post, but it's all relevant to the resistance. A little background. Before I get into the nitty gritty, I, 26 female, have been with my husband, 27 male, who we will call Jake, for 5 years, married for 2. My mother in law has a baseball team worth of kids. She's been a stay at home mom for the past 40 years, with the youngest kids in their 20s, still living at home. Mother in law is the kind of person who inserts herself into everyone's business and always has something to say about what other people are doing, or just about other people. She is a classic narcissist, manipulating her children for her gain. Can't take criticism, and the entitlement of this woman is just on another level. She has been creating drama with all her children's spouses for the past 20 plus years. Mother-in-law treats everyone in the family that is not her blood like a second-class citizen, including her own son's stepkids that he's raised since they were babies. She believes that her kids should worship her and neglect the families that they have created. Up until recently, I have been very cordial with mother-in-law, never having any major issues. I have always tried to lay low and keep my distance because I don't need that negativity in my life. But coming from a normalish family that loves unconditionally into this mess, there is only so much you can take before you finally lose it. This is where everything really starts to build up. So earlier this year, Jake was working out of state and got into an accident. He had a broken bone and had to get stitches and staples, but no major life-threatening injuries like that. I work in the medical field, so it was easy for me to understand everything that was going on. Jake and I have lots of animals and don't make a lot of money where I can just drop everything in a second, as much as I wanted to jump on a plane. I was trying to make arrangements if I needed to be there, but he was going to be released from the hospital before I could even get there. My sister's husband had flown into the same state Jake was at for unrelated reasons, but we had him pick Jake up from the hospital and put him on the plane back home, which my family helped me pay for his plane ticket home. During everything that was going on, the only person from his large family that offered any help or support was one of his brothers and their wife. The first day he was home, my mom came to our house with groceries and spent a few hours helping me clean his wounds and washing all the dried blood from his hair. I had 9 days off, just how my schedule happened to work. So I had lots of time to make special meals for him and cleaning his dressings each day. My mother-in-law had only called to get information so she could spread it to the family. She was telling everyone that I would not allow them to come see him, which she never asked once. The first time after the accident that she came over, she forced my sister-in-law, who we will call Lacey, because she's important for the story, to make him food that we didn't need so that she could bring it over. Not asking to come, but making an excuse for her to come over. So one of Jake's best friends had called me out of courtesy to let me know that mother-in-law was bad-mouthing me. He said she asked him if Jake and I were having problems. She told him I was a horrible wife, and after my husband was fully recovered, she was going to have words with me. To say I was looking forward to that day would have been an understatement. Same, babe, same. I prayed she would come and say something to me because I have been holding back for so long. But that day never came. Like she does, she will only talk shit behind your back, but will never say anything to your face. I just let it go because I didn't have time to deal with her as I was taking care of Jake, all our animals, and working full time. Jake was pretty much fully recovered besides occasional pain from the trauma. Now to the nitty gritty. A few weeks ago, we were going on a weekend vacation with Jake's family. Jake and I took his sister and niece on kind of an excursion, you could say. And Jake is a wanderer, and he had left us for about an hour, so I was a little upset. When we got to the end and finally found Jake, the girls were ready to go, so I was trying to get everybody ready to leave, and we lost Jake again. I was getting all our stuff together, and both of my shoes broke, so I was standing on burning asphalt, and by this point, I was super frustrated. which I had first-degree burns on the bottom of my feet from this, so yeah, a little hot. When I finally found Jake, I had hit him with my broken flip-flop, not hard, but to get his attention. Yes, probably not my finest moment, but I was in pain and seeing red. Jake took off to the car, and the whole ride back to the house was just berating me in front of his sister and niece. That's not normally like Jake, but when we are around his family for too long, he goes into defensive survival mode because that's how he had to be growing up in such a toxic environment. When we got back to the house, we had stayed outside for a minute and talked out what happened, and we were good after that. I wish I could say we enjoyed the rest of the vacation, but we had to endure one of Jake's drunk brothers starting fights with everyone. After the trip, mother-in-law was at Lacey's house and started talking about how the trip went because Lacey was smart and didn't go on the trip. Lacey is my only confidant in the family because she's married in and she has been through it worse than I have. I go over to Lacey's house at least once a week, so she has already heard what happened on the trip. Mother-in-law told her that it was a great vacation except for the mishap of the drunken brother and the fight between Jake and I that his young niece apparently told everyone about. Lacey knows how mother-in-law likes to twist things and deny what she said, so Lacey started discreetly recording. Mother-in-law said that Jake and I had gotten into a fist fight and just talking bad about me. The next day, Lacey shows me the video, and this just pushed me over the edge. I told Jake I can't take it anymore, and I am done with his mother. Jake has always used the excuse that all of his siblings use. That's just how she is, or she's always been like that. But I was done. I told Jake it's because they let her act like that. And she has so many kids. What does it matter if one stops telling her to? My family has never talked bad about Jake behind his back. My family has treated Jake better in the past 5 years than his mom has his entire life. When Jake heard what she said, he went to confront her. Jake recorded the conversation because we were so tired of her not taking accountability for her actions. And oh, are we glad we did, because when he told her to keep my name and our relationship out of her mouth, she did not hold back. First of all, she of course denied everything she said. When Jake called her out, she started saying derogatory things about almost everyone of her in-laws, basically saying, we start all the drama and are ruining her family. She brought up Jake's accident and how me not going up there showed my true colors and that my parents should have paid more for me to go. Jake finally got tired of listening to her BS and he just walked out. After this, we let his brothers listen to all the horrible things she was saying about me as well as their spouses. 2 of Jake's brothers have agreed with us to basically cut her out and not attend any of the family functions that she'll be at. We have also blocked her number. I have told my sister-in-laws I don't know how they have put up with her for so long, but I think they just needed another ally because she is so manipulative and will turn all the other siblings against you. Honestly, I don't see her changing and I don't see having a relationship with her in the future. I hope she will see the way she treats people and finally sees the consequences of her actions for the sake of her kids that are still tolerating her abuse. But for now, Viva la resistance! Okay, OP, I actually love this because there's some comeuppance in here. It was brilliant to go ahead and record so that one, your partner could hear it, because it does hit differently when you hear the person saying it than when you're just getting a recounting of what was said. So bravo there. There's absolutely nothing to give you advice on because you guys actually handled it like you should. But can you tell your other in-laws that married into the family to come share their stories? Because if this is just a little bit of it, I want to hear the unhinged of the rest.